Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special Monday edition of Fangirlz Assemble. Because last week, I failed Kristan and forgot.
I need everyone to know I was here.
She was here, and I failed her, and I felt so bad.
I was just like...
I felt so bad about it. And I literally, afterwards, I had to keep talking to Elliot. I was like, oh my God, I think our friendship is over. He's like, it's fine. I'm like, do you think our friendship is over?
It's not. I'm here.
I know. Yeah. But I remembered today.
Love that about you.
Yeah. So we're here.
You know what else I love?
What?
Great deals on collected editions.
Girl, me too.
Where can I find them?
Well, let me tell you, you're going to think you're going to find it at a con, and you're not. Where are you going to find it? Is at InStockTrades.com.
Wow.
You can get your books up to 50% off. And I did give them a shout out at the panel.
Nice.
Because people were like, where do you, or someone asked, like, how do you feel about, like, shopping online versus shopping at your local comic book store? And I was like, whenever I can, I try to prioritize going to my local comic book store. And when that fails, what I like to do is shop from In-Stock Trades, because for me, they're still local. Like, they're still close to us. They're still a smaller business. It's still very, like, a personal thing. And they're, like, one state over from us. And I was like, so for me, I feel better knowing where I know who works and I know where my money's going to. I know who it's supporting. And so, better than Amazon, right? So I did give them a big shout out.
Nice.
You know I have to.
Of course.
And not only that, but if you spend $50, you live in the United States, you get free shipping.
It's the best. And it's good shipping.
And we got deals of the week, everybody. Right now you can get Zatanna by Paul Dini trade, 50% off.
Wow.
And one of my favorites, Booster Gold, the complete series trade paperback, book 1.
Nice.
So
check it out. Get some good deals.
Good. And apparently you can order a Smithsonian Cats coloring book on here.
I saw that and I was very confused. I was like, what?
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
I wasn't either.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. So we're back again. We're continuing our read through of Battle Royale. So now we're doing 3 volumes at a time. 3 volumes or that deluxe, right, size.
3 in 1. Yeah. This is my last deluxe. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm back to the regular ones after this.
So these are volumes 7 through 9. And let me tell you, this was a trip and a half, this one.
My gosh.
Wow.
I feel like we say it every time we talk about this story. We're continuing it because at this point, even after this volume, I'm like, I need to know what happens.
I still have to know.
I have to know how this ends. But whoa. We've said it. All the trigger warnings, but like truly, this volume?
Wow. The body horror is been elevated. And the sexual content has surely been elevated in a way that I did not see coming. But I'm dying to talk about it. I'm dying to talk about it.
And the flashbacks within that situation.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how to begin with it. I don't know.
We finally get to see our femme fatale character again. So basically there's within Battle Royale, we have these pockets of like the good guys. And then we have some randos, right? And then we have kind of what we've seen to be is like the big hitters, the big enemies. We have this bad guy from the school who's really cold and obviously is just killing people without really caring. And he's very skilled. It looks like it's like he's the head of a yakuza. Like that's the kind of vibe he gives off. Yeah, or almost serial killers, like very much. And even talk about no soul.
No emotions every time he kills someone. He's very good at it, like you said.
Very good at it. Shows up out of nowhere all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Una has opened the door. And then we have our femme fatale lady. And she has very much used her body to get through things. We've seen her kill other girls. She's always lying. And we've seen her in like flashbacks of like pushing her friends into sex work that they're not really comfortable with, right? And she's kind of like she's just a bad girl. But earlier it was like, okay, this is pretty cool because like she's still like, I own my body, and yeah, I do crazy stuff about it, but I'm gonna kill a guy. But then this one went a little far. We get up.
We dove deep into her trauma from when she was a kid.
Because stereotype of a character like this, you don't become this way without some assault, familial assault, even in your background.
Mm-hmm.
So trigger warning on that.
Like the biggest
in a big
one.
way. Big way.
I will say, because this book is graphic, but we didn't graphically see any of that happen. We did see a flashback.
Yeah, luckily.
That showed like, no, you didn't get to see any parts or anything. It was just, there was a lot of implications that were obviously horrific with her and her father. But I did kind of like how they did.
It was still really interesting, right?
Everything with the doll, right?
The doll was cool, yeah.
So like there were, because you saw her as a kid, but then when the super like traumatic things were happening, she would be replaced with like a clear depiction of like a rag doll or something, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't even see the doll go through stuff, just like it was implied, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. I mean, I hated everything about it, but I was also like, they could have not done that. Do you know what I mean? Like they could have really went somewhere, and they didn't.
It was really creative, like from the first get-go where she, we see her run into this duo. And we haven't seen her for a bit, so she killed another girl. Eunice.
I can't handle her legs.
This is the levity. She's adding levity for the situation. So she runs to this guy who is kind of a tough guy. They're like a very like otaku kind of weeb guy. It's really no manga. So she runs to this dude and she's like, okay, this is gonna be easy pickings. And this is after she has this altercation with one of our good guys that we really like. And then is really turned on about it. I don't know. Honestly, it's a very interesting character. But the way she like the otaku kid's just really nice to her. And not in a way like he wants to get with her. But he's like, I see sadness behind your eyes, and I feel like that's probably why you do bad things. And he's like, I'm gonna let you go. Like, I want you to trust me. Like, you don't seem like a bad person.
He's seen more depth in her than she's probably ever had from someone. Because even like, the flashbacks to school and what people would call her.
Yeah.
And what they would think about her was very surface level.
Yeah. So
he actually went beyond that, and I don't think she'd ever had that. She didn't know how to react to it.
No, and it resonated with her in a really interesting way, because then that's when we see the doll again. That's like referencing her past, and she's like, he's taking your trust. Because she learned that people will try to they'll take her trust and then they'll use her. And so she's learned to kind of get in the way of that. It's better for her to offer it. And so that way she can't get close. She can't be taken that way. And so it sets the scene. And then we see her seduce the other guy. It gets very graphic. Which is still, that honestly, this book, right? Because I'm like, but I'm also like, very interesting way to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it.
And, we say it's very graphic, but at the same time, like,
they can't show everything.
Right. They're still censored situations. So,
yeah.
Which I think ultimately helps it.
I'm going to close my door because I feel like you're picking up the sounds of the other room. Yeah, because they can't be too graphic. And part of that is Japan in general, even in their own like pornographic materials. Is my chair messed up? Sorry, I'm distracted now. This is messed up. This is gonna bother me. They typically, there's a lot of them, they're very much like censored. But it gets pretty close anatomically to things.
Sure, yeah. Plus, I mean, if you already don't know, I mean, we're 9 volumes in. The brutality of the murders just gets worse. Like, it's so graphic.
Oh, absolutely. And I do want to talk about that kid's death. Isn't it appropriate to talk about? I want to talk about it. I know it's a spoiler.
Who?
When the otaku kid dies, when the weep kid dies, because he's been shot or stabbed when he was trying to protect her, and she realizes that all this time he's a true friend and somebody really genuine and not someone out to get her, but she doesn't know how to make him feel better, and it's like she has a total mental break because she sees the bullet hole, and the only way she knows how to fix anything is by performing sexually. And then he's like, "You're literally killing me right now. I need to."
It was a lot.
It was a lot. I don't know what to think about it, but at the same time, I'm like, this whole book is me at war with myself about things.
Like, I get it.
It's like, man, this is exploitative and weird, and like, is this a stereotype? Is it a bad stereotype? What does this mean? But at the same time, they did it in a really different way.
I think that's what's keeping us like continuing to read this, because I feel like we've said it too, but like, we can't really recommend this to anyone. But
no, I'm gonna keep saying that I've read it and then not review it, I think. But
you know, we take into account when this was made, the differences of life then. But I think even then I would have been like, this is brutal. Like, this is a lot. And maybe that was like part of what the author ultimately wanted, right? I know it's an adaptation, but like, he was involved, right? So I don't know.
And this probably resonated so much of the time because it was so brutal, so out there. Because you think about a lot of like books that were popular then, maybe less so now, but like, there was something to like edginess selling so well and getting readers, because like, it was such a departure. And so I can see why this was really pushed the envelope. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Can we talk about the girl group that we run into?
Oh, let's talk about the girl group.
So toward the end, like, I guess the last volume, we're back to like our main hero character, right?
Yeah.
Who was shot, and one of his friends picked him up, ran into these like 4 or 5 girls, and was like, "Hey, he's been shot. We're not playing the game. He just really needs help, and I can't be here. Like, I gotta go. I gotta do stuff." So they took him in, and then you learn, and he's like in a coma or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you learn that it's just like a group of girls, and they were like, "We're not gonna approach any guys. We don't trust them." Makes sense.
I love, because the first thing she saw when she like ran out, she came back to the school, she sees, unfortunately, what the guys have been doing, like trying to like assault women that get killed, and she's like, okay, she's class president. She's like, I'm gonna find my girls, and that's it. This is who I feel comfortable with. This is who we can be safe with. I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it was cool to see that, because like, we hadn't really seen that to this point. We've seen like duos of friends, like the 2 girls earlier, whatever,
like couples and stuff.
But like, these women were like, okay, let's do this. Like, let's group together, and it'll be great. Well, their newest girl they brought in was just a total mess, understandably, but a total mess. So she was very upset that the guy that they brought him, I can never remember his name.
I don't remember.
I don't know what that was shot. He woke up at some point.
He's our main guy.
Yeah, the main guy, the main good guy. And she was really upset, wanting him to die, right?
Yeah, because I guess she must have seen, and I don't remember this, but she must have witnessed him being near a murder or like accidentally doing one or something. And so she has in her head that he's like a killing machine. He's the devil. He's a demon boy is what she calls him.
I think she saw something that wasn't actually happening in that moment, you know. But yeah, she's calling him a demon boy in her head. She's just like, there's a lot of God wants it this way, and he needs to die. It's like intense in her head. So you know she's going to do something. I think we're this far. I feel like we can just say that.
Just talk about it.
You know, they're making him a soup. They're putting all the stuff in the soup. She, of course, goes in and is like, oh, by the way, how convenient that she just has a bottle that says poison.
Well, that must have been her item. Oh. That must be the item she got, because everyone gets an item. They don't choose. They just get one. And I bet the poison is hers.
I didn't think about that. Okay,
and so she's like, oh, I know I've been super weird this whole time. But you know what? You're so right. Not all guys are bad. Let me make it. I'll bring him a soup. And then she's like,
so and then you just know, you're like, okay, someone else is going to eat the soup, but it's not going to be good. So within this girl group, the girl with the pigtails, looks like she's 10 to me.
Oh yeah, because the art is not. Honestly, the art can be really good, but if it's like character design, they all look crazy.
So confused. Like, it's like every nerdy boy looks like he's very, like, way younger than everybody else.
And he's got the biggest head.
The hugest head. Every one of them. All of the nerd adjacent kids like have big heads, and they're tiny, and they're really short. Yeah. What's happening?
I don't know.
And then she was like shorter than everybody. She wasn't nerdy, so like I guess this doesn't work for the girls. But then it's like, oh, it's weird because she's talking about boys and stuff, and she looks so young.
Yeah, it was gross. She's like, "Did you get a look under there?"
Yeah, and I was like,
"This situation," and I was like, I mean, to be fair, high school girls, but I'm like,
but she didn't even look. That's the problem, right? She did not look like she was in high school, and I was like, this is gross, but okay. So she takes by the soup on the way.
Because she's the bigger girl. So she's
right. Also forgot that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. She's gotta eat. And then I love how immediate it was, actually. I was like,
hilarious. Wow. I don't know any poison that you take a sip and you're immediately like, I'm dead. And I mean, puking up everything.
Everything, and then blood, and then just it.
The Japanese government
invented. Yeah, she's gone. It didn't take 2 seconds. She's gone. Bye. And it was like, whoa, what happened? Could it be the soup?
I chased it a second ago. Like, honestly, I would immediately been like, that bitch wanted to bring this soup up so bad. You think she's... But they're like, wait a second. And then it just pops off. Everyone immediately loses it.
Oh, just like truly loses it.
So fast.
Yeah.
One girl, she grabs her big, like, I don't know, automatic.
Yeah, AK. Like, why do you need that?
I don't know what guns are.
Yeah, a big old gun.
A big old gun. Because she's like, wait a second, I gotta protect myself. She's like, one of y'all did it. And she's paranoid, and she thinks one of the girls gonna shoot her, so she shoots her, and then the other girls shoot each other, and they're just shooting each other, and then everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Which honestly, look,
I guess 2 of them are alive at the end, right?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember, but they look pretty bad.
They was bad. And they're
not gonna make it.
Well, I'm like, we still have like a little chunk of volumes. Like, what is it? Like 6? It's 6.
Yeah.
I mean, who? I'm just like, we
killed everybody so fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think at the end of this, it said only 9 students remaining. I'm kind of like, how are there even 9 left at this point? But even to say 9 and there's 6 volumes left, okay, how is this?
No idea. We lost a lot of people, and we lost like our little broadcasting group that was supposed to or like our hacking group.
Yeah.
Which that was a really cool story too.
It was I like that one. It was really good. I mean, it was a bummer. Total bummer, but it was done in a really interesting, unique way.
Yeah, and honestly, the death was super cool looking.
Yeah.
I remember looking at me like, no, that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But I do like how this whole series does a great job of giving everyone backstories. And truly, you don't know at any point if it's going to be because someone's going to die soon or not.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's going to backstory because they have backstory. Maybe they're going to backstory because they're going to die. But you're going to know about every one of these people. Well, except for those girls. You just know about that one that likes him. But that's it.
And that's, I think, what is keeping me reading it. You know,
Yeah.
I prefer, obviously there's a big plot throughout this, but if they didn't have good characters that were like interesting, at least in some way, and you get to learn about them and care about them, and then they could die easily, and they do. There are actually stakes in this.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all interesting elements that I feel like, at least in like Western comics, we weren't used to even having that until like The Walking Dead, which is why that was such a massive, huge thing. You learned about these characters, you loved them, and then they died very quickly.
Yeah.
So it's a long, I mean, the storyline's not the same, of course, but like, you know, there are like similar aspects to getting those backstories and caring about those characters.
And this is going to be a weird comparison, but I think you'll be there with me on it. But my mind compares this to 13 Reasons Why. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because, sometimes these teenagers act in crazy ways or very adult ways.
This is fair.
But sometimes they act very much how you would expect teenagers to act in a situation, which is melodramatic. It is wild. They make the worst decisions in a very teenager way. I absolutely see myself being one of those girls that like ends up hanging out with the other girls and just gets caught up by accident. Right? Because you're panicking, like, well, I've got to save myself. A girl won last year. I can win. Let me shoot all. Right? Or you're basing whether or not you're going to trust somebody on what they did, you know, outside of the situation. Like, absolutely. I see the ways that they act, like, or like the baseball player that never avoided girls because he's focusing on sports. But now a girl's paying attention to him. And he's like, well, I mean, my friend who I really trust likes her. And I don't know how to say no because I have teenage hormones.
I think that's such a fair and oddly good comparison, actually, because I think about the characters in 13 Reasons Why, and you care about them, even though sometimes they're horrible and they make these terrible mistakes. And then you're like, I feel very upset that I even was rooting for you.
Yeah.
For some reason, it comes to mind. Was it Tyler? Like he comes to mind. Name. I don't remember. But the nerdy kid, essentially, who took photographs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. But also he took photographs.
Yeah. And then you were like, oh, no. Because you were like, oh, you're rooting for him. But then this happens and you like are so conflicted in your feelings about him. Yeah. And then something even bigger happens and you're like, oh, my God. It just
came back to me the minute.
Yes.
But these things happen, like, honestly, you know, I remember people, like, the critique of that show, right? Which is fair.
Yeah.
Where they were like, this is ridiculous. When will this ever happen? And I'm like, true, but also, have you met any teenager?
Yeah.
Because honestly, yes, this stuff does happen all the time. They're all this dramatic. They all talk like this.
This is just like all on an extreme level.
Yeah, if you found like 10 teenagers, you know what I mean? And then you had them all be a little too much. Because usually they're a little bit spread out.
Sure.
But you just put them all together. And that's what happens in Battle Royale. They're like, hey, teenagers suck. Let's put them in a situation where they're going to have to kill each other. Of course this happened. Of course you get some stupid kid who's like, I'm better than these guys. Don't they understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just lie and he'll like me. And he's like, no, I don't like you. He's like, where are you?
And of course, you're right. Of course that's going to happen. Of course they're all going to lose their minds if anything crazy happens for a second. And they're all traumatized. I mean, not only just the people we see traumatic backstories from, but like you're put on, like you're away from everyone you've ever known.
Yeah.
Forced to like kill your classmates. No one's okay with that.
I have no idea in which ways that would break. I have no clue.
And half these people didn't know how they would react until they were there, right? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's one of these. This book. It's just like I still kind of like it, but and I'm so glad I've read it. I just also think it's a big old mess.
I'll never read it again, but
no.
but I want to know what happens.
Yeah. I do want to rewatch the movies once we're done. And maybe
I
read
want
the
to see
novel
it.
again.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember that scene of all the girls killing each other in the tower. It's really interesting. But I do not remember sex being girl losing her mind. It was crazy. Guys, it was crazy. It's one of those things that's like, I don't want to read again, but I want other people to read so I can talk to them about it.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
You know what we should do is, like, when we get close to the end, let's have Lee read all of it. And then we bring him at the end. So I can be like, Lee, what do you think?
Yeah.
So that he can really dive in.
Yeah, he would deep dive. Yeah, I love that. And I'm glad we're doing it. I mean, again, they've been sitting on my shelf forever, like, eyeing me. And I'm like, I need to just read this. And it's like you said, I at least we're talking about it together, because especially those chapters where, like, everything, I was just like, what? What are we reading? Like,
I cannot imagine reading that alone, not having somebody talk to you about it. I would have messaged you and be like, you have to read this. I know it's a lot. I need you to at least read this so I can talk to somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I have no idea where this is going. I feel like it'll be less sensational as we have less people.
Okay, I can't see it calming down though. Right? Like,
no, but how are they? There's like nobody there. Is it just gonna take longer to kill each other?
Or maybe we get more backstory for everybody. Like, maybe we super care about these people at the end.
Yeah, because like,
well, they gotta meet back up with what's his face, who won last time, right?
Yeah, but then they said a girl won last time. So when did he win?
Okay, I guess maybe this. Yeah, I was confused by that too, because it kept saying the last winner was a girl. The last winner was a girl. And I'm like, okay, so this guy won at some point, and then
is that why he looks 28?
Well, they said he was held back at least once, so
yeah.
But I'm like, maybe for like 10 years.
He was also held back with the gay guy. He looks like he's 40.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then he popped back up for a second.
This doesn't feel that different than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure art, but not in the way that, like, the older characters are, but the way the short characters are. Because all of the short characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are so short and they have huge heads, but they're all the same age as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like,
that's weird. Yeah.
How?
I don't get it.
I don't understand. And honestly, the violence is actually kind of the same level.
Yeah.
It's all really weird. Man, those bullets went through that kid's face.
Oh my gosh.
That poor little baby.
Yeah.
That poor little baby boy.
That sweet guy.
I guess that's, if you see any kid looks like that, you're like, oh man, here's another one. There's a little poor baby boy.
And he gonna die.
They all have the same face. They all have
the same face.
Like,
oh, he's a sweet guy. You gonna die.
Main guy's best friend. And little guy hanging out with the hacker. They're all the same guy.
All the same. And we love them all, and they're all dead.
They're all dead. All of them. And if it's a girl, they're probably, you know. The only woman making it out of that is that dumb, I hope he comes back to me. I hate her. I hate her so much.
I don't like her either.
You were such a waste of space.
Yeah, what is the deal? I'm like, we don't know anything about you either, other than you're annoying.
God, and she's bothering that guy, and he's like, lists the guy who won before, and he's like, hey, lay off. The guy, he had to do that. She's like, but we have to go get him. He's like, it's like talking to a child. It's like, do you believe in ghosts? Or the afterlife? Or like spiritualism? And she's like, oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's like, well, I don't, but you know, I can't say it doesn't exist. So it probably is alive. And she's like, baby, he'll come back. And it's like this big close up her face, like shut up.
And he's like, yeah, we can't do that because like we'll die.
So
you won't see him anyway because we'll die on the way. Like,
she got shot one time, and the rest of her life has been fine so far. The rest of this time, Battle Royale, she gets to take a nap.
Yeah.
Privileged much.
Honestly, yeah, living her life. Like, it's a lot.
Wow, it's so hard for you. We have to get him. Can you help anybody? Can you do anything? Because you've done nothing.
Why does he love her so much anyway? It just doesn't.
I don't know. And he's like, he's doing it for his friend, but he obviously likes her too.
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that being his first kiss in the.
Yep. Yeah, that was a lot. And then she was like, second, I kissed him when he was asleep. And I'm like, okay, creepy. So creepy.
I always thought we get married. I'm like, you know what? To be fair, if you think you're gonna die,
Sure.
I would also be like, to be fair, I've always loved you, but it doesn't matter. I would. At least at that age.
She shot her shot, right?
Although, to be fair, I don't know. Would I kill everybody immediately because I panic? I have no clue. I don't think I would, but who knows? I pray. I don't know why I'd ever be in the situation. Knock on wood, but
yeah, no kidding.
The government's like battle royale and out. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm probably gonna be a boring person to have on TV for that.
Mm. I'm just gonna like lock all my doors real quick.
Exactly. Y'all can figure it out. I'll let you all think. I'll just hide until you all kill everybody.
And then I'll go like loot the Walmart or whatever. Because no.
Come on. They're just bad at surviving. All of them.
Yeah.
They're just bad at it.
Well, I think we did it.
We did it.
We read it again.
At least we had a lot to talk about with it, honestly.
That's true. That's true.
I knew it once. I knew it would be. This was a hefty boy. No. One of us is frozen. I don't know who it is.
I don't either.
Oh, I hear you.
You back? Okay.
I see you're frozen, but I hear you.
Got it. Okay.
This happened on Saturday. So Omar and Melly still did a live stream on Saturday. I was like, you don't have to. He's like, yeah, but it's in like the, everyone in the chat was like, what are you doing? But they left our hotel, go to a different hotel, hoping that they would have faster Wi-Fi. And I was like, I'll join from here. Maybe it'll be staticky for me, but even if it is, whatever. But theirs ended up being the ones who kept freezing, had to leave. And so I would be the one, just me, like,
hey guys.
hey, because I'm sure you can't tell.
Yeah.
Until somebody tells you.
That's hard, yeah.
And so I'd have to pick up and be like, so I bought these things. And I couldn't, I wasn't at my home computer, so I couldn't like select comments or anything. So I'd just be like, hey.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
So, well, I'm good for this Sunday if you're good for this Sunday.
Yeah, should be.
Be Star Wars weekend.
Yeah, and we'll be back. Check out our great sponsor, InStockTrades.com. Get your deals. Check out that red tag sale.
Go check out that Smithsonian Cats coloring book.
Yeah, buy that book.
Or Vinland Saga Deluxe Volume 2.
I mean, they do look very pretty.
It really does. There's some cool looking stuff. All right, we will see you all next time. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. If you read Royale, tell us about it. So we can
let us know, please.
Bye.